Hey there, guys. This is Jedi Masters. Back at ya, but today I'm doing a movie review suggested by Benny-Wan Kenobi. Um, he suggested I do the live-action Scooby-Doo movie review since there's a new Scooby-Doo coming out, a CGI one, and I thought it was good because I do have the movie. I did see this one when it came out in theaters, which was years ago, obviously. 2002. I was 20 when it came out. And I grew up on the original cartoon, even though for me it was reruns mostly because it came out in the 70s. But, yeah. And I thought I'd start with the good things about the movie, which are the actors. They did really well together. They had great chemistry, and they were able to look like the original characters in the cartoon in the first few minutes of the movies, since that's when they had their classical looks. And I'm kind of glad they did switch it up after they got all back together, that they had their own looks different from the cartoon, because it gave them their own presence in it, you know? And the four did really well together. You can tell that they were good friends. And gotta say, Matthew Lillard was perfect as Shaggy. No one else could have done it better. He was a living embodiment of Shaggy. And other things I liked about the movie were Fred and Daphne when they switched bodies. Those two playing each other was really funny. And in a way, they got to walk into each other's shoes. It made it funny and kind of something we all should do. Though, unfortunately, we can't like that. And another thing I liked was when Velma thought she was drunk because she thought she had a drink with a lot of alcohol in it, and she started singing. That was just funny, especially when the guy we didn't know that was the bad guy said how the drink's non-alcoholic. So knowing she was just doing that because she thought she was drunk made it funnier. Another thing I liked was it was silly like the show. You know, it wasn't too serious, so you weren't as scared as you could have been. And that's always good when it comes to Scooby-Doo. Don't want too scary. No. But, that's pretty much what I liked about the movie. And it was a good, live action. It's good enough to have a sequel. And, some things I didn't like was they didn't have the greatest plot for Scooby-Doo. I mean, if you haven't watched the movie, spoiler alert ahead, but Scrappy being the bad guy, And the reason why he was the bad guy, just because he was picked on a lot, not the greatest. Another thing I didn't like was the whole Shaggy and his romance. I did not see the point of it. I mean, they had enough with just Fred and Daphne. You don't want to bog something down with too much romance, because it's not supposed to be a romance. It's supposed to be funny. It's based off a cartoon. Another thing I didn't like was Scooby wasn't the best version of Scooby. I mean, it was CGI, you can tell. But, another thing was Scrappy-Doo. The whole thing with him in general was not needed. They could have found a different villain. They could have even made it one of their old villains from the cartoon coming back for revenge, kind of like they did in the second one. The CGI effects, you can definitely tell were not the greatest, especially with the monsters. Then, they did not look like they belonged in our world at all. At times, Scooby did, but mostly he looked better. Honestly, they spent more with him. And another thing I didn't like was just how stupid the characters acted sometimes. I mean, even in the cartoon, they did not act like that. And so, I wish they didn't have done it quite that bad. Would have made the movie a little better. And I do understand they were targeting kids. But also the people who grew up on it, watched it, it was kind of stupid. But not saying that was bad. And yeah, that's my movie review for Scooby-Doo. And if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, it's Scooby-Doo. Come on. Come on, people. Scooby-Doo. While it wasn't the best, it was definitely not the worst. The second one had a little more plot holes in it. Even though it had more seriousness. But, and some of the deleted scenes are actually funny. I would suggest watching it for Scooby-Doo fans. Like I said, it's Scooby-Doo. But, yeah. That's my movie review for Scooby-Doo. And if you have any more suggestions of movies you'd like me to review, please comment below. And I will see you guys tomorrow.